We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, these two teams, they met in New Orleans earlier in the year with the Saints coming out on top. So a win here in Atlanta would give them the season sweep.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before it could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers from others to make the play. Not in this case.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey.
Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down trial of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
It's taken to the 26. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They go play action. Winston sliding out of the pocket. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Up the middle they go. Pryor. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
On first down, Pryor, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there.
His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
So look at this. They got the 7-0 lead in the pocket, and they're going to try an onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Now a play fake here on first down.
And complete to Drake London.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
And the Falcons are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here.
Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Winston. They'll roll him out right. Thomas has got it, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Winston to Thomas there for the Saints' first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They just do get the play off. Now Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Flush to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Arnold Ebiketie charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
They wanted to on that play. It actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Slot man moves right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
Now Winston on 4th down. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there. It keeps them advancing the ball.
Kamara Gets it again on second down.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down. Off the play fake, Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara
with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others.
And the Saints have got it back to within a score.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
On second down, Pryor, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Open man is McMath.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Here's 2nd and 8.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Got this complete to the tight end, Pitts.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Marcus May with a pick.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing just outside his own goal line. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Room here to run. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line.
And he is going to lose lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Kamara up the middle. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run on first down. Pryor, and he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Back to throw. Crossing route incomplete. He's got Pitts. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. That's caught by McMath. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Over to Pitts, and he's got it near the sideline.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
On 1st down, Pryor, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
The slot man in motion right. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Rashaan Evans.
And the Falcons are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far. I'll give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice game.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
10 cycles.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown.
Kyle Pitts,
34 yards.
And the Falcons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That's a nice play.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On play action, Winston. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give them 18 on the play. A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Jameis to throw it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 12-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the score.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. There he goes, left side. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
This was almost what I've heard referred to as a pick 12.
Pick 12, explain.
No, you're talking about the 6 that they were trying to get.
Because they were so close to the end zone.
And now the 6 going the other direction. So when you take a look at teams on the march, they're in the red zone. Then after the interception, and it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him from going all the way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Familiar sight all game. Pitts has it once more. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Falcons take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The busy night continues for Kamara. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 3rd down, Winston. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st and 10, Winston.
Tries the left side and finds Olave.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Wait.
They run it again with Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Winston on 3rd and 2.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
To throw again on second down. Winston looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Kamara trying again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Winston sneaking it, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Saints get a bit closer. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense